Woohoo! What's up, everybody? Fisch's Friday Rant is back. And with this season, we're bringing more attitude, more rant type, just flipping out. I don't even care anymore. If I need to flip out, I'm gonna flip out, alright? And we got just more hot takes, more everything. So load up the hot take cannon because it's about to go down. So, I'm not even going to tell you what's on the docket today. We're just going to jump into some of the hottest topics going on in the NBA so far, and we're just going to talk about it. So, let's jump into the first thing I want to talk about, Kevin Durant and everybody that just keeps hating on him because they have no joy in their life. Yeah, I said it first off. Second off, look, he's on the Warriors now. Get over it. Go ahead, keep commenting L's on his pictures and on the Warriors stuff and on whatever other basketball thing you want to comment on. First off, it's stupid. You're just commenting on it just to comment, and you're like, this is funny. Let me put an L in the comments. Are you two? Come on now. And the thing is, these guys are fun to watch, whether you're a Warriors fan or not. They are a fun team to watch because there is bound to be some offensive fireworks every single game. I'm not a Warriors fan, but I'm going to watch them play because it's going to be a fun time to watch them just go off on the court. When you see plays like Kevin Durant when he was on the fast break and Curry throws it up to him and he's falling down and passes it back to Klay Thompson who hits a three, that's some fun basketball to watch right there. And instead, we have people complaining Durant going to the Warriors. Yes, it wasn't that awesome of a move to see him go from a team that beat him over to this team that already won a ring and to create like a big four instead of a big three and all this kind of super team talk. I understand that. Okay, I'm not a fan of super teams either. But since we're already here, since all these super teams are already together, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen more because when you think about it, the only way to beat a super team is to create another super team. So, with two super teams so far in the league, in Cleveland and Golden State, what are other teams gonna do? They're gonna create a super team. Look at the Knicks! Yeah, no, not a super team. Get out. Anyway, so you got Kevin Durant there, who is still lighting it up. This man is still getting 20-point games all the time. All the time. This guy is just a 20-point minimum machine. And it's funny, though, because you would think that maybe the guys, aren't really taking as many shots as they do or aren't really getting as many touches as they would when they weren't on the same team together. But then you see guys tweeting out stats where Durant's only getting 5 less touches and only averaging like 1 less shot a game, but still averaging almost the same amount of points. You have Curry, who's still averaging about the same amount of shots, still averaging a pretty high points per game. Now, obviously, he's not averaging the huge, crazy 30 points per game that we saw him do it before because he was on some kind of flamethrower streak from 3-point back then. But he even, lost his streak of at least 1 3-pointer made in a game against the Lakers. And then he came out the next game and got the record for most threes made in a single game. They are fun to watch. You can go ahead and hate on this team no matter what, but it doesn't matter because they're going to come to your city, come to your team stadium, and probably beat them. Maybe not the Lakers. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell. Anyway, so moving on from Durant and the Warriors, let's go on to Westbrook and OKC. All of a sudden, everyone's a Westbrook fan. Just because he wants to stay in OKC. And that's great. I applaud the fact that he wanted to be loyal and stay with the team that got him in the first place. And he wanted to see it through to try and make the team better. Well, his supporting cast kind of sucks. Just saying. This team, honestly, it is going to be a struggle for them to make the playoffs. Oladipo, I don't really even know what to say about Oladipo. Oladipo just, we saw him and we all thought he was going to be good after his rookie season. And, now it's kind of like, Like, I think more highly of Steven Adams than I do Oladipo. And if we went back and looked at both of their rookie years, you'd probably think I'd be crazy for saying that. But it's true. Steven Adams, he's their interior defender. He's the guy on defense now. He is the anchor. Without Ibaka, he's the one protecting the rim, and he's the one getting most of the boards, and he's shoring it up on the offensive boards as well with Cantor thrown in. So Adams is playing a much, much bigger role than anyone would have ever expected him to play on this team. And, of course, Westbrook is playing exactly how everyone thought he would be. And everyone was like, oh, Westbrook for MVP. But if they don't make playoffs, sorry, no MVP. That's just how it goes. And then you look at other guys like two of his ex-teammates. Durant, probably going to be in the running for the MVP. James Harden, probably the leader in MVP, like early MVP votes right now. If you were to get everyone together and have them vote on an MVP right now without talking about playoffs, James Harden would probably win. James Harden right now looks like the best point guard in the league. Yeah, the best point guard in the league. And we were having debates about this last year if he was the best shooting guard in the league. So, when you look at James Harden, and you think about how the last two seasons, he was in the MVP race as well. The other last year, and we were like, hey, James Harden probably the best two guard in the league. It's up to like him and Clay, best two guards in the league. Now you look at it and it's like he could be the best point guard in the league. You don't see many people go from the best at one position to the best at another position in the matter of one season. He hasn't even played an entire season as the surefire point guard. Because D'Antoni came out and said, he's going to be our point guard. We're going to run him as the point guard more often and start him as the point guard. Whereas before, he was the two guard and the de facto one guard. But no, he is the one now. So while everyone's a Westbrook fan, that's cool. I like Westbrook. Westbrook's explosive. He's also fun to watch. But it doesn't make sense to me if you're going to just like Westbrook. I'm not talking about OKC fans. Obviously, if you're a fan of OKC, if that's your number one team, then yes, those players are going to be your number one favorite players. And on top of that, with all that, people who are hating Kevin Durant, OKC fans have plenty of cause and reason to hate Kevin Durant. I honestly, 100% understand if you're an OKC fan and you hate Kevin Durant from now on. Completely understand that. Fans who are not fans of OKC, who have their number one favorite team as someone else that is not OKC, you have no reason to hate Kevin Durant. You really don't. Because let's say your team was in the Warriors position and you had Kevin Durant come to your team. You wouldn't say a goddamn word, would you? Exactly. All right, I'm going back to that other topic. That I'm getting a little off topic here. So in this MVP race, so we have, Kevin Durant, still also Steph Curry, still Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. Tons of people said, oh, Kawhi Leonard's not going to be in the MVP race. He doesn't have enough offense. Then you take the offseason, this guy trains with Kobe Bryant, and look at his offense now. By God, he's scoring points. Whoo, he's scoring points. And he's doing it with some style. You see that first game when they blew out the Warriors and he had this crossover between the legs, step back, elbow jumper? That reminds me of somebody. Kobe Bean Bryant. This man can be the MVP as well. And then you look at New Orleans, who, I mean, let's be honest, probably not going to make the playoffs, especially if they keep playing the way they are now. But Drew Holiday's coming back. Anyway, you look at New Orleans, Anthony Davis could also be MVP, as he is almost every year he's healthy. Realize the fact that this man scored 50 points in a game where his team scored 100 and they still lost. Like, can we sign a petition to force the Pelicans to trade Anthony Davis? No disrespect to you Pelicans fans. I was hoping that you guys would get enough talent to surround Anthony Davis that it wouldn't have to come to this. But it's come to this now. When you can score 50 points, literally 50% of your team's points, and still lose the game. This is when it comes down to we need to sign some kind of petition to get these guys to trade him and get him to a better team and just somewhere. Like, God, could you think, like, imagine if he went to, like, Milwaukee and you had a starting five of Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, and Anthony Davis, and then I don't even care who the fifth is. Just think of that. That'd be crazy. First off, that'd be like the tallest team in NBA history. Second off, that would be an insane team. But Anthony Davis is down there playing with Tim Frazier, Buddy Hield. There's not much more to talk about. Drew Holiday's coming back. Maybe Drew. And whenever Tyreek Evans isn't hurt. Maybe. They at least traded Eric Gordon. Because, he was always getting hurt. But, yeah, that's about it. That is about it. Oh, also, we should definitely, after the season, there should be a Royal Rumble or some kind of thing with Durant and Drake. After that whole Drake bumping him and he's like, I don't give a damn about no damn Drake night. That's the kind of fire I love to see from players, to be honest with you. Like, I love to see these guys coming out with a chip on their shoulder and out there like, I don't give a damn about anything. I'm going out here to ball and I'm going out here to destroy the other team. Mindsets like Michael Jordan, Russell Westbrook, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant was showing that fire in him, and that's what I love to see. Honestly, I think Kevin Durant playing the villain now is going to be a great thing for Kevin Durant. But anyway, moving on now. The Atlanta Hawks. Who saw that coming? Well, you get a defensive center who can actually protect the rim and grab many boards. All of a sudden, they're the number one defense in the league. And they're winning games. And they're tied for first in the East. And Dennis Schroeder, who personally I thought should have started last season, the beginning of last season, is showing people that he can be a starter. It's funny how things work out like that, right? It's just funny. And then, another thing that a lot of us have been wrong about so far, the Indiana Pacers and the swap of Jeff Teague to Indiana and George Hill to Utah. George Hill has been great for Utah. He has been exactly what they needed. Jeff Teague for the Indiana Pacers, they lost to the Sixers. That's all I really need to tell you. They did beat the Cavs, but without LeBron. Still lost to the Sixers, and 2 games in a row with the Sixers went into overtime. That's really all I need to say, to be honest. Anyway, that's it for me this week, guys. Thank you for watching the first episode of the new season of Fisch's Friday Rant. We are going to be loud. We're going to have some real attitude in here, and we're going to be throwing mad shade this year. I'm just letting you know now. So, if you have any complaints, I don't care. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.